For over 150 years, the theory of evolution through natural selection has sparked numerous controversies about where we come from, how we were made, and the role of science and religion in the conflict. The battle has pitted evolutionists against creationists, science against religion. The debate over what should be taught in America's biology classrooms has raged for over 80 years, from the famous Scopes trials in 1925 to the present-day Kitzmiller trial. The many battles over evolution can be attributed to the life works of Charles Darwin. Darwin, an English naturalist, first began observing evolutionary processes from 1831 to 1836, a time in which he traveled the world on the HMS Beagle. While on the Galapagos Islands for the better part of 1835, he noticed slight variations among the island chain's finches, most notably their differing beak sizes. Darwin hypothesized that the 13 species of finches he observed had all descended from a single common ancestor, the common ground finch. He also believed that these finches had adapted, or evolved over time, to prosper in their unique environments. Although well supported, Darwin remained hesitant to publish his works for nearly 25 years due to concerns over the radical nature of his studies. Only when Alfred Russel Wallace, a well-respected British naturalist, discussed his findings on possible natural selection methods in 1858 did Darwin finally introduce his theory on evolution through natural selection to the scientific community. This theory was explained in Darwin's magnum opus, On the Origin of Species, when it was finally published in 1859.
Evolution is fundamental to almost all aspects of biology, and that really, in some sense, the discipline kind of falls apart without that key concept.
Evolution happens. I mean, natural selection is an absolutely valid explanation for how adaptations arise.
There is no doubt that evolution is, sort of the fundamental guiding principle of biology.
I don't think it should be treated as factually as it is in the academic environment.
In 1925, evolution faced a major battle in the courts over whether it could be taught in public schools. John Scopes, a high school biology teacher, was on trial for teaching evolution in his class, thus violating the Butler Act of 1925. The Butler Act stated that it was unlawful to teach any theory that denies the story of divine creation of man as taught in the Bible. The Tennessee court case drew national publicity, and two highly successful lawyers joined in the fight. William Jennings Bryan, an elder statesman and three-time presidential candidate, served to prosecute John T. Scopes. Clarence Darrow, a renowned criminal defense lawyer and leading member of the American Civil Liberties Union, represented Scopes pro bono on behalf of the acclaimed organization. Bryan asserted that the case was strictly a battle between religion and atheism.
I am here to protect the Word of God from the greatest atheist and agnostic in the United States.
Darrow argued it was a fight between a literal translation of the Bible and a common sense one.
If today you can take a thing like evolution and make it a crime to teach in the public schools, then at the next session you may ban books and newspapers.
Bryan successfully tried the case against Scopes. It was ruled that Scopes violated the Butler Act and was fined $100. The Butler Act would remain in place in Tennessee schools until 1967.
The evolution process, the whole idea that I am a random occurrence, and at some point in time some elements collided and life began, is pretty preposterous to me. I think creation is just as valid a theory from an academic standpoint as evolution is.
The science of Genesis, if you believe, or the pre-science of Genesis, if you believe it literally, then when we see a picture of the Earth from outer space, it should be water out there, not space. And that's what folks advancing quote-unquote creationism don't seem to get.
The epic 1987 Supreme Court case, Edwards v. Aguillard, came as a final blow for creationism's role in America's public schools. The conflict began in Louisiana, where a law entitled the Balanced Treatment for Creation Science and Evolution Act forced educators to teach creationism alongside evolutionary theory. The Supreme Court ruled that the law violated the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, which does not allow the government to endorse any religion.
People talk about the debate of creation and evolution. That's not a religious debate. There's nothing religious about it at all. It's a political debate.
Though creationism was successfully banned from America's public science classrooms, a new theory originated from the Edwards versus Aguillard ruling, called intelligent design. This new theory put forth the idea that the Earth is too complex to have arisen by mere chance, and that an intelligent designer must have designed it. Dr. William Dembski, a leading proponent of intelligent design, describes it as a bridge between science and theology. Intelligent design has since rivaled evolution for precedence in the public school system.
Creation science was effectively outlawed from the schools. The name changed. A lot of the people are the same.
If you read the actual work of the intelligent design theorists, like Michael Behe, for instance, or William Dembski, you discover that these are individuals who accept evolutionary theory and want to complement it, supplement it.
I guess I don't dismiss the possibility that the way the universe has evolved could reflect some kind of intelligence that's beyond what we can fathom.
Intelligent design, like I say, it's not, in my opinion, a scientific theory. It's certainly not a widely accepted scientific theory among professional biologists.
School boards have tried to put intelligent design into place in their school districts and get it into the classroom, into the biology classroom. I don't think it belongs there because it's more than biology. It's a philosophy or a theology.
Science deals with empirical information, and if it's not empirical information, it really has no business being studied in great detail.
Really, honestly, as a scholar of religion, I think of intelligent design as something that would be properly taught alongside other creation narratives, and I think that would be more like a world religions context.
The most recent court battle between evolution and intelligent design was the 2005 Kitzmiller versus Dover Area School District trial. The problem began when the Dover Area School Board ordered the famed anti-evolutionary textbook Of Pandas and People. The book, which was published less than 2 years after the Edwards versus Aguillard ruling, promotes what many scientists believe to be creationism in disguise. The book essentially replaces the terms God and created with intelligent designer and designed. While not required in the biology curriculum, the book was to be an available resource after teachers read a statement explaining the holes in evolution and the existence of other theories, such as intelligent design. Many were outraged by the new requirement. 3 school board members resigned in protest of the statement's addition, and 11 parents of students brought suit against the school district. The case was brought before the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania, presided over by Judge John Jones. He ruled in a 139-page findings of fact and decision that the Dover mandate violated the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, just as creationism had in 1987. Evolution's battle to establish itself as the leading scientific theory on the origin of life has survived a rough journey over the past 150 years. As the 3 court cases in this documentary show, as well as countless others, evolution has emerged as the most widely accepted theory explaining man's origins in America's science classrooms. This is, and will undoubtedly continue to be, a highly debated conflict.